inspire us, and the women who make history. Even after 110 years, women are still making strides in the pursuit of equality and celebrating a year of firsts, NFL especially. And Jennifer King became the first Black female assistant coach, just one season after Katie Sowers became the first female and openly gay assistant to coach in a Super Bowl. And the following Super Bowl was officiated by Sarah Thomas, the first full-time female referee in NFL history. They may have been first, but there's still a lot of firsts waiting to be celebrated.
Hello, everyone. How are you? Welcome to International Women's Day. It's a day of celebration. We are here to celebrate each other, celebrate women all over the world. Celebrate. This is our day. We worked hard for this day. A lot of people paved the way for this day. And it's so important that we come together in unison, okay? Sisters, hands locked, everything, come in arms locked, to be able to let people know that we are all together in what we do. Now, this evening is something that I said would be just something good to do, to share with you all, with some women who are a part of my life, women who have made a difference in my life, who've helped me to change to be a better person in business, as a woman, as a mother, as a sister, as a friend. Each one of these ladies that you're going to meet this evening, that you're going to see tonight, have done some significant things in their roles as mothers, daughters, sisters, women in Christ. And it's just so amazing to be connected. That's why I wanted to make sure we connected with you. So at this time, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and, get our little theme song going, because let me get this. Because I think it's important, because we are all women who are doing some amazing things, and we are all on fire. Yeah, there they are, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
Looks like a girl, but she's a
fire. Each and every one of you ladies are on fire. You are women who have done so many great things, and I'm just happy to be in the company of each and every one of you. How you doing?
Hi.
Good to see you. Everybody's good. All right. Yes. Well, I'm not gonna hold people up. I'm not gonna, I like to keep things moving. Y'all know I'm a woman on the move. And I don't like to waste time. I like to get right into it and have a good time. So take this time to introduce yourself. We're going to start with you, Miss Sabrina Lowery. Introduce yourself. Take a minute to tell everyone who you are, what you do, and who you do it for.
Absolutely, Dr. Kim. Thank you so much for this opportunity to celebrate International Women's Day. This is truly a Women's History Month, and I am honored to share this platform with all of these phenomenal women. My name is Sabrina Lowery. I am the tech evangelist, and I help relieve the stress in tech for entrepreneurs, small business, and corporations globally. As my pursuit to greatness in my career over 30 years in the information technology industry, I have also started a business in real estate, which for the past 18 years, I have been a proud member of the National Association of Realtors. And in 2015, I pivoted my business and began to teach and train for national and global organizations such as Google, Microsoft, the National Association of Realtors, and other local associations throughout the country. It has been my honor. It has been my privilege, not only to increase my reach, but also develop the skills that are necessary when the pandemic happened. So Everyone knows that 2020 was a year of devastation for most small business owners. Well, I am so proud to say that 2020 saved my life. 2020 allowed me to take that second business, which is truly recession proof, and monetize my gifts in the areas of technology. Where people were years behind the learning curve to get their tech together, I provided those technical support solutions and business strategies in order to help businesses not only survive, but they are now thriving in 2021. I also received my leadership and women's in entrepreneurship certification from Cornell University in the COVID pandemic. So when you talk about a woman on the move, that is who I am. My name is Sabrina Lowery. You all can connect with me on IG at The Tech Evangelist. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Wasn't that lovely, ladies? Next up is none other than Dr. Lucille O'Neal. Introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, what you do, and who you do it for.
Good morning, good afternoon, whatever the time may be for you. My name is Dr. Lucille O'Neal, and I'm not the usual woman in a tech business or in a personal business. I am your master motivator. That's what I call myself. I am an author of a personal memoir titled Walk Like You Have Somewhere to Go. I am a mother of 4 adult children, 1 deceased now, and then I'm a grandmother of 15, and I love that role more than anything now. But I want to just share a little bit with you. I am a child of the King. I'm a child of God, and God has given me a special platform because I asked him one day to make me a motivational speaker. So when people ask me, well, what do you do and how do you do it? I say my business is to motivate you to be better than you think that you are. I like sharing stories with people and giving testimony. And I love sisterhood, and I love to be able to empower you because I believe all of us have a special gift. And I found out that all the while I was looking for my purpose, I was walking in it. So what I do on a daily basis is give words of encouragement and share my life because I believe with everything that I have in me that it is never too late for a new beginning. And I went back to school when I was over 40. I had the opportunity to go to college because I wasn't able to do that. I was a teenage mother and my oldest son was born. And then I got married and had 3 other children. But when I was about 45, the opportunity presented itself. And my oldest son, who had that great job, he said, Mommy, if you want to go back to school, I got you and I will pay your tuition as long as you keep your grades up. So I am proud to say that I am a graduate of the great Bethune-Cookman University in Daytona Beach, Florida. And also I have a master's degree from the University of Phoenix. And I am a proud Black woman sitting on the shoulders of many great women. And I want to say to you ladies today, thank you for being here. I celebrate you, Dr. Kim McNair, and all of the other ladies on the platform. I celebrate you, my sisters and my friends. And I pray that we will get the opportunity to one day get together personally so we can just share love and give up some sisterhoods. God bless you, ladies.
All right, all right, all right. Awesome, awesome, Dr. Lucille. Next up, to introduce herself without further ado, Dee, tell us who you are and who you do it for and all that good stuff.
Okay, I'm unmuted now, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I am Commissioner Dee Clemmons. Before Commissioner, I was just Demetrius Clemmons Lassiter, and most people know me as Dee Clemmons. I contribute my advocacy for the advancement of women to my alma mater, Spelman College. I knew that when I finished college that I really wanted my life to be remembered for doing something impactful. Before I leave this earth, it's really about what you do in between being born and leaving this earth. And, I had a mission. I wanted to improve equality for women. I wanted women to be educated. I wanted there to be inclusion, and I wanted people to have opportunities. I had grown up for the first part of my life as a daughter to a single mom. I watched my mom work hard. I watched my mom, have to work and graduate with me at 18. So she was a teen mom. And then I go to Spelman and life is like, wow, is this what people live like? But what I knew is that in order to be successful in life, you got to give back and you got to lift as you climb. So I dedicated my life. After 18 months of leaving Spelman, I decided to leave the school system and go into full-time entrepreneurship. So for the last 28 years, I have been a full-time entrepreneur. And what this means is that I funded my own 401k, I funded my own pension, I funded my own health insurance plan. I supported 2 daughters as a single mom through college. I became the first Black woman to ever get elected to the highest position in office in Henry County. I earned Commissioner of the Year for the state of Georgia. And what I'm simply saying is that I'm a subject matter expert in entrepreneurship and leadership. My contribution to women all over this world will be to help them advance, to offer each woman that I come in contact with whatever information I can provide, giving them advice and guidance on being the best you. And I'll tell you, I went from a $700,000 home to a studio apartment with 3 blow-up mattresses, 2 babies, and a dog. And today I stand saying that there's power in the pack. There's power in the pack, there's power in prayer, and there's power in the Lord. And when I chose to follow Jesus, that's when he decided to bless me. So I'm here as an advocate, as a servant leader, to give back. And people wonder, well, Dee, how does it happen for you? Why does it seem like everything works well for you? It's not my calling. It's not my plan. I'm just following in the steps and what the Lord has ordered for me. So I just want to say thank you, Kim, for allowing me this opportunity. I'm excited and just overwhelmed at being able to share this platform with these other amazing women. And I'm excited about talking about International Women's Month and International Women's Day.
Yes, awesome. All right, guys, up next, Dr. Felicia Phillips. Tell us who you are, what you're doing, who you're doing for.
Well, Kim, thank you so much for having me here on this International Women's Day. I think it's important to point out that March 8th, an International Women's Day, was brought forth for women's rights, right? It is to focus on gender equity, reproductive rights, violence against women. And so we all stand here. We're all here because of what the women before us have done. And whenever I'm in a situation when I can talk about women's rights and what women have done in my life, I always think about my great-grandmother, Hattie Hutchinson, and my grandmother, Josie Lee. And the reason I bring them up is because entrepreneurship is in my DNA. I have seen it my entire life, not just from them, but from my father as well. And so I always knew that entrepreneurship was for me. But here's the one thing I also knew is that if you ever want to be successful, that happens when you're able to make other people successful. And so my goal has always been to provide platforms that help women become successful by either leading with their passions or a skill set that they may have, understanding that most women go into business out of necessity and not opportunity. And so when I look back, especially over the last 6 years, I had the opportunity of founding MogulCon, which is really a big deal for me because I realized as I was listening to the women who went before me is that we have touched over 3,000 women over these last 6 years, helping them, whether it was to grow or scale their business, help them get in contracts. And so that means something. And what I know for sure is that I am definitely walking in my purpose. I believe that whatever you are seeking is seeking you too, because success is your birthright. I run and I'm CEO of PPICW. We are a 2-time award-winning consulting firm specializing in supplier diversity and small business development. And we have the pleasure of doing that each and every day. But I'm also a mother of 2 adult children, Sierra Elise and Grant Alexander, who are also entrepreneurs themselves. And so knowing that, I know that I will continue to do this work, continue to empower other women so that they too can realize that success is their birthright. Thank you so much, Kim, for having me.
Awesome. Thank you for being here. Next up is Dr. Karmetria Burton. Tell us who you are, what you do, and who you do it for.
Well, hello, ladies. This is such an honor to be here, Kim. Thank you so much for pulling these type of forums together for women to really talk and use their voice. I am Karmetria Burton, a corporate executive. I've worked in the transportation industry, the manufacturing industry, the hospitality industry, and have always had seats at the table when it comes to making pertinent decisions. But somewhere along the way, I stopped using my voice and I stopped using my seat. So I would say about 4 or 5 years ago, I started a movement called the Paint Your Lips Red movement. As you can see the banner here and the red lipstick. And it was simply a movement for women to be bold and brave and to speak up. The movement was started out of the legacy for my grandmother. My grandmother, I was her caregiver when she moved to Atlanta, and we were getting ready for her doctor's appointment. And every morning before we would walk out the door, she would say, "Give me my red lipstick." And for the longest, I didn't know what that meant. I thought, okay, grandmother want to be cute at the doctor. But it was her cape for the day. It was her way of showing, I got to go to the doctor. I got to get hooked up to dialysis. You know, I'm afraid, I'm scared, but my red lipstick is going to allow me to get through the day. So ladies, you have a voice. Your voice is the most powerful thing you can use. Be brave, be bold, use your voice even if it shakes. Even if you are scared to death to say what you have to say, your voice is the most powerful thing you have. And so I think it's important that events like this really reconfirm that to women, because so many women think their voice is lost, right? So many women feel marginalized, looked over, stepped over, disenfranchised. But ladies, you have a voice. Use your voice, girl, be brave, and paint your lips red. I'm excited. Woo! Thank you.
All right. We're excited to have you. Awesome. Well, look, last but certainly not least, we have my dear friend, Annie Hoffman. Hi, Annie. Introduce yourself. Tell people who you are, what you do, and who you do it for.
So I media train athletes and I media train sports broadcasters, but I've also media trained ministers, executives, CEOs. And I started working in sports when I was I was 18 years old. And when I started, there weren't many women that were actually working in sports. And I played football in middle school. And then I went on, I thought it was like amazing. And I kind of can't believe that more people didn't play, because I was like, it's really not that difficult. And I went on to work a lot in sports in high school. And then I started, I said, gosh, if there's a way I could work at ABC Sports or ESPN, that would be, my dream. And I kept manifesting it. And I kept just saying, somehow this is going to happen. Somehow. I just believed it in my whole heart. I prayed about it. And lo and behold, as a lot of you women know, prayer works and belief works. And I ended up meeting someone that ended up knowing someone at ABC Sports. And I ended up as a freshman in college starting to work at ABC Sports and ESPN. And it was really amazing because it really helped me even appreciate even more so my dedication to supporting and helping women, because there weren't really that many women, and even women's sports were not covered as much. And I've been able to go on and to media train a lot of female athletes, a lot of female sportscaster, which has been such a passion of mine. And to really, what has really inspired me, when I work with these women over the years, is I almost want to cry, because I see them walk into a room and they are just really, they're so confident and they're so poised. I mean, when I was coming up, I sometimes felt like I had to dress kind of like a guy. And now I see these women and they're just owning who they are and owning their bodies, and just full of confidence. They're going to great schools, they're getting great scholarships, and they're going on to play professional sports. And, lo and behold, they are getting more and more opportunities, more and more money. And that is such a passion of mine to still be able to support them. I continue to have a lot of female interns and female assistants that I try to really take time out to share stories with them and to mentor them. And I always say, if and then going to Boys and Girls Club and just talking to a lot of children and just letting them know that if you have a dream in your heart, no matter what, it is possible. I put myself through college. I worked 2 or 3 jobs while I was trying to intern and work at ESPN and ABC Sports. And my parents were not in a position to be able to help me. And I somehow went to New York and I worked 2 jobs. And you know what, I tell you what, if you know how to work hard, that was the great gift my parents gave me, is that served me so well. But really, I just have to tell you, there are so many women that took time out for me. One of my dear friends was one of the first female producers in Hollywood. She produced Nancy Drew, Hardy Boys, as some of you remember those shows. And to this day, she's like another mother to me. And I just love hearing her stories, what it was like back in the days of Hollywood when there were, she used to be, people always thought she was an assistant. Here she was producing the show. She has so many stories. So what inspires me is that there's so, we've come, I think, just the opportunities that even my own daughters will have now as a result of women like you and the women before us. And I just continue to be inspired by so many incredible women. And Kim, I have to tell you, I really, and I'm sorry if I've not even said this before, I really admire how much you really have always done to support women and inspire women, and all the difference that you are making in so many lives, as are the other women in this group. So it's really an honor to be with you all.
Oh, thank you. It's an honor to be with each and every one of you in all the different capacities that we are. So before we go, guys, I always say, sharing is caring. Please hit that button, share this live. If you're with us through Facebook, it's Kim McNair Productions on Facebook, and Women on the Move TV with Kim McNair. Share that button. Sharing is caring. I tell you, sharing is caring. Let's give a shout out to some of the people that are live with us right now before we get into our questions and talk about some great things. Let's give big up. Hey, Valerie Brown. Thank you she said, praise God. She was like, woo, you guys are speaking some good stuff. All right, who we got here? Flo Miller Jenkins. Hey, Flo, how are you? All right. Gwendolyn Walker, what's happening? Hi, Gwendolyn. Anybody know Gwendolyn? Is she a friend of yours? She's all our friends.
My aunt. That's my aunt.
Hi, Auntie. Oh, Dr. Mimi. Oh, yes. Awesome. Hi, Auntie Gwen. All right. And Andy is saying hello to all of us. Hey, y'all. All the way from Phoenix, Arizona. Look at her on the mountains and stuff. That is great. It is great. Okay, so we're going to keep it moving right along, keep things going. So what I want to do is I want to start, and you guys, we got a little mean face up there. That's my Aunt Diane hit the wrong thing. I said, Auntie, can you get the mean face down? She said, Kim, I don't know how to do all that. So I said, I tell you, you got people thinking you mad at us. And she don't know how to take it off. I said, text her. She said, I don't know what to do. So that's a smile upside down. All right. Well, I'm glad everybody's here with us. Ladies, does anybody know what the color is for Women's International Day? Do you know the color? Everything has a color. You guys know that, right?
No.
You didn't know? Okay. Well, the color is purple. Purple represents International Women's Day. And that's kind of how our flyer went. Our advertisement had the purple in there. Purple is the color for International Women's Day. So next year when we get together, wherever we are, however we do, just throw a little purple in there, okay? All right. So I wanted to tell you guys that. So let me ask this question before I get deep. Who do you think is the modern day Ida B. Wells? Now, Ida B. Wells, she fought tirelessly for rights for women to be able to vote. She was an activist. She did a lot. Who would you think is the modern day Ida B. Wells? Dr. Phillips, who do you think it is? She got to unmute. Go ahead, Dr. Phillips. Unmute. Who do you think the modern day Ida B. Wells is today?
Stacey Abrams.
That's who I had too. That's Stacey Abrams. That's right. Look at
yes,
that.
That's right. Yes.
Stacey Abrams. She definitely, right? She got out there and made sure we turned Georgia blue.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Hey,
I said, wow, who would that be? Okay, so here's another one. Let's see who can do this one. Now, who did Sojourner Truth work with freeing slaves? Did you know? Do you know? Anybody?
Mm-mm.
All right. Sojourner Truth helped Blacks escape to freedom to the Underground Railroad. She was working with Harry Tubman on the other end. How about that?
Right. That makes a lot of sense.
She was saying, y'all better go, because Harry's on the other side. And I'm like, wow, I never knew that. I never knew she had anything to do with freeing slaves. I'm telling you, women, we are bad.
Collaboration.
And I think the thing, what'd you say, Dr. K?
That is true collaboration.
Yeah.
That is collaboration. And I'm like, wow, look at how, she's on one end and she's on the other, and they work together somehow to make sure people made it to that Underground Railroad. It was great. It's just great to see how we have worked together for so many years. And people don't know that. They don't understand. We've been doing this. It's in our DNA. It's in our DNA. We've been doing it, guys.
Right.
Okay, so that was just a little, just some history there I wanted to throw out. So I'll start with this. And I'll start with you, Commissioner Clemmons. How did you survive or thrive in the 2020 pandemic? How did you survive or thrive during this 2020 pandemic?
Well, I'll tell you, I always taught my daughters that preparation prevents pressure. And, it's not that I saw it coming, because I don't think any of us could have saw it coming. However, I spent every day preparing for how I was going to make it through. Instead of sitting and, soaking up all that was happening, I was trying to figure things out. And I think that's part of the entrepreneurship in me. When we're at our lowest point, when things seems to be arrayed, we need to be trying to come up with a plan, and then we've got to work the plan. From a business perspective, 2 years prior to the pandemic, I actually had started a janitorial supply company. So I had access to bleach, paper towels, trash bags, and all those sanitizing things that everybody needed. So from a financial perspective, I was okay. But mentally, I did a lot of praying. I started, really concentrating on my health. And I want to share with the women that are listening today, when we're at our lowest points, we've got to pray. But in our praying, we've got to think about a plan of how we're going to come out, because it's just a test. And that's how I really made it through. I knew that it wasn't going to always be that way. I needed to prepare for how I was going to come through it. I still continue to try to help others. And that's kind of how I went through that process of just making sure that I didn't focus on the negativity, but I figured out how I was going to come through that.
All right, that's awesome. That is awesome.
I tell people now that during this pandemic time, if you didn't find your purpose, if you didn't come closer to the Lord, if you didn't figure things out, if you didn't put things in place to make sure that when it came around again, shame on you. Because it was a year, 2020 was supposed to be a year of vision, but I tell you, I probably had my best year during the pandemic, because all of the distractions and the outside distractions didn't matter. The only thing that mattered was right there, what I could touch, what I can feel, and what I could do. And so I think that it was really a year of vision. And I hope that, all the women on the panel got that vision through that year, but it wasn't as bad as the devil wanted it to be.
Right.
Awesome. That's right. That's right. It wasn't. How about you, Dr. Felicia Phillips? How did you do? How did you think? How were you able to either survive or thrive during the pandemic? Everybody's story is different.
You know what? It's interesting. I agree with Dee that it was nothing you could prepare for. We were thrust into this. But for myself and my team, we were extremely busy helping other entrepreneurs, whether it was the EIDL loan, PPP loan. I didn't focus so much on myself, but I focused on helping others. And through that, I was able to help myself. I believe that when you bless other people, you're blessed in return. And that's kind of what happened for us. It was an extremely good year, even in the midst of a pandemic. And we were able to help people get the funding that they needed to continue in business, because the truth of the matter was we lost 40% of Black businesses during the pandemic. And so just being able to bring a little sunshine to some of those businesses actually helped propel my business. And so we did well. We were able to stay afloat. We didn't have to let anyone go. We actually hired 2 more people and just brought on another person this month. And so it was really well. It went really well. But it was a lot of prayer because those were uncertain times.
Wow, that's good. Awesome. Awesome. Yes. Now, Dr. K, let me ask you this. Okay, I'm gonna bring you on up to the forefront here. Let me ask you, what are the most effective ways to counteract the negative stereotypes of feminism, especially in the workplace?
Love the question, because part of the Paint Your Lips Red movement is helping women get rid of those limiting beliefs.
Woo.
And to have limitless lives. So let me tell you a quick story. As a little girl, I was told little girls should be seen and not heard. I'm sure you've heard that before, right?
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
I believe that. I believe that for years. For years. Little girls should be seen and not heard. Little girls should be seen and not heard. I was always smart and talkative and very inquisitive. But as I got older, I think you learn perspective on comments. And I think what my grandmother meant was know when to speak up and know when to shut up, right? But for years, I got quiet. I silenced myself. I didn't say anything until I went to college and I finally, raised my hand in one of my classes and I used my voice. So I think the way, ladies, that you get rid of those limiting beliefs that you hear, but the other part is stop the negative narration you tell yourself, right? Sometimes we give ourselves the wrong message. You're not going to make it. You're the only woman. You're not good enough. You're not smart enough. Look what everybody else has. So we have to shift the negative narration and begin to speak life into not only ourselves, but our situations. And I love what every woman on this panel has said. Whoever you are out there, you got to have a higher power that you believe in.
Absolutely.
Whoever you call your God, you have to dig deep, right? And really allow those limiting beliefs to get out of your mind, and then stop the negative narration. Then the other part is, have you a tribe of positive women?
Hallelujah.
Women that can pull you up. When you in the bed eating ice cream for 3 days, you ain't combed your hair in 5 days, you ain't fed your kids in 2 days. You gotta have those women that can say, okay, girlfriend, here's my motto. You have 24 hours to be sad. That's it. So Karmetria tells herself, girl, after 24 hours, you got to get up.
Get up.
Right? So I give myself 24 hours to cry, sulk, curse, be mad, whatever it is. And after that, then you got to put a plan in place so you can get it. So that's it.
You hear that, ladies? Put a plan in place. Ooh.
That's right. You got it.
Yes, I love that. Put a plan in place. That's what you got to do. 24 hours. You can cry, boo, and then you got to come out of that thing, and you got to say, okay, let me stand up tall, put my shoulders back, and when I hit the door, I'm gonna walk like I have somewhere to go.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, don't forget. Don't forget that, Dr. Lucille. This one is for you, darling.
Yes, ma'am, Dr. Kim.
You ready? You ready? Look, I know you're gonna give us some stuff. I'm gonna bring you on forward. There you go.
All right, go ahead.
All right. So, what's your International Women's Day message for a sister friend, or even to your younger self today? What would be the message that you would want to tell someone on this beautiful, another sister, girl, or friend on this day?
Well, ladies, I have a simple message, and it is, don't put any limits on yourself. First of all, I found out, it's been my experience now, that God has not put any limits on me. And I had to learn how to stop listening to what people were saying. So I remind myself, he said, she said, but Lucille, what is God saying to you about any matter?
Right.
And I believe that there are no limits to anything that we can do. And I look around the world and I learn from the people that I meet. I've met a lot of different people from different arenas, and it's always something that you can take away from someone that you meet. But if God has placed a dream in you, we have dreams in us. And I remember seeing this one day written from Dr. Maya Angelou. It said, it may take years to realize a dream, but dreaming itself is an elevating experience. So in my seasoned years now, I took the limits away. I'm still dreaming. I have things I still want to do. But from there to here, my then is definitely not my now. So no limits, ladies. We can do it all. History tells us that we can be anything that we want to be.
All right, no limits, no limits, no limits. All right, Sabrina. Wait, let me go. I know, Sabrina. You know, I got one. Let me ask Annie this question. Let me go on down to Annie. Sabrina. I'm coming back to you, girl. I'm coming back to you. Annie.
Yeah.
Share. I want you to share. I want you to take a moment. Just share with us, briefly. Share what inspires you when it comes to empowerment with women. What is, the empowerment movement is here, right? Everyone's empowering each other, and share what inspires you when it comes to women empowerment.
What inspires me is just how far people have come. And I feel like really spiritually, and I'm sure a lot of people on the panel would agree, that we are really one. And I feel like I'm really excited because I've connected with so many women around the world. And there was a young woman I just met actually recently, and she's wants to be successful in her own business because she wants to go back to Vietnam and help women in the villages to empower them to have their own business. Mm-hmm. And I was so inspired by this young woman. I said, let me know when you do it. I would love to go. And I'll bring my daughters, and we're happy to help. And I met someone in Kenya who's doing the same type of thing. And I said, I am happy to come over to Kenya. I would love to help. Because what is exciting to me is really we are one, right? And I also loved what Dr. K said and Dr. O'Neal about limiting beliefs. And that really, when you start to pay attention about all those like little thoughts you have in your head during the day about, you know how like we naturally will almost kind of do it like, oh, I don't know if I could do that, or that seems like too much, or just really flip it. Try to flip it all the time during the day. Because I have noticed like some of the most successful women that I've been lucky to meet, they're really not much different than any of us. And they just were determined and believed and persisted and didn't give up. And one other thing I've always learned is just pivot, because there's going to be changes in life and things are going to happen in your business, or you're going to have, young children. When I had young children, I figured out a way to work from home. When I got divorced, I figured out a way to recreate my business. There's always going to be changes, but just have to trust yourself. And I've had to start all over. But because I had strength from all the things that previous happened in my life, and I just kept getting up. But quite honestly, it's a lot of women who inspired me. And the other thing I was going to say, I think it's really important that we try to empower women. And I tell my daughters this, just be kind to people and to try to also acknowledge other people. Because everyone, think about just letting them know, like we'll go to a store and we'll just say, how are you doing? And get to learn about their story. Or whether we're in a cab in New York, I always try to learn about other people's stories or talk to other people on the subway, wherever I am. Because everyone has a story, and you never know why God puts them in your life, that maybe you're there to inspire them. Because I can't tell you how many women I've met randomly through my travels and days, and they have touched me and inspired me. And it's not always people that have quote unquote big jobs or titles. It could be someone just I ran into in a store who said something to me that I needed to hear that day.
Awesome. Right. Inspiration, inspiring. We got some comments here. Someone said, Fix My Crown. Valerie talked about, she said, her commitment and determination. That's right. Lucille, they saying it. That's right. No barriers, no limit, no limit, no limit. All right. Miss JJ, no limit, no limit. And Sherelle Jones is on. She clapping her hands. And somebody said, agree. They agree with you. Miss Bonner said, be kind. That's right. Ain't that's what I'm talking about, ladies. Look at that. They are responding. So, Sabrina, are you ready, darling? Oh, you ready? I have a good question for you because you're in the tech space, right? And I just want to ask you this because, I mean, and we all work with men, but I know the space that you're in. But how do you succeed in a male-dominant environment? I mean, we know, we know that the ratio when it comes to technology and tech and what people are doing. I know we're teaching our girls to get into STEM, but answer that question.
Yeah, so Dr. Kim, I am so grateful that you asked this question today because with it being International Women's Day, I kicked off the first half of my day with the Women in Technology Network for our celebration of women. And when all of the leaders that were our keynote speakers throughout the day spoke about their journeys, I don't care what their racial background, their demographic makeup, I don't care what any of that looked like. We all shared the same story about being the only skirt in the boardroom. And it's not made up. It's not fictional. It goes all the way back to as I dreamed as a young girl to work for NASA. That was my dream. How many of y'all remember the Space Shuttle Challenger? I remember that. When I tell you, like, the most vivid memory as a child in New Jersey, watching them launch, I watched that with conviction, like, oh, I'm going to do that. I now know what I want to do for the rest of my life. And it had to do with science, technology, engineering, and math. And then they threw the A in there for the arts because that is my creative and innovative side, right? So I love the STEAM, right? And I love STEM. And the reason I get so fired up about it is because I have jumped hurdles. I had to jump hurdles to move to Atlanta when I left Gainesville, Florida. I had 2 children, single mother, moving to a new state, getting a brand new job in a new place that was unfamiliar to me with 0 connections. But when I talk about the power of having an alumni chapter, the power of having those distant relatives that will put you in touch with, well, cousin so-and-so's in Atlanta, those kinds of relationships mattered to me in my successful journey. Because not only was I a survivor of domestic violence to come to a state and thrive in technology, but I also learned how I had to speak up. I had to use my voice. This 5'2" petite stature had to scream louder than the 6'2" men at the boardroom table. When executive business decisions were being made, how many of you guys remember Y2K? Y2K was a major point in my life because I had to convince management that I could do my job remotely. There were no telecommuting workers. So if I have to show and prove to my director of IT that, yes, there are phone lines and DSL, and how many of y'all remember ISDN dial-up, right? That was your high-speed internet back in the day. Okay. That is what I did. And then we talk about the pager and being on call 24/7 as a single mother. That's a lot of demand. So the reason I was ejecting myself from corporate America was because they would not give me a proper seat at the table. And they founded their business to tell me how to run my business and my household and my life. And I don't believe there's any corporate HR department that would allow for those kinds of shenanigans. And so I bowed out. I pursued entrepreneurship with my first business, which was Mary Kay. Grew my team there, got my sales skills up. I still was able to do my tech consulting on the side, which I've done for 20 years. And then I moved into real estate. So
All
when you
right.
talk about the trajectory of having to create your own table, I have done just that, Dr. Kim.
Awesome. You did
All
it.
right.
That's amazing. That is amazing. I'm telling you.
Talk about
Women truly on the move on here. So look,
Yeah.
we're going to take a quick break, guys. We got a commercial break. And when we come back, Dr. Karmetria is going to tell us about why we're wearing this beautiful red lipstick. She's going to talk about the movement, and I hope everybody is ready. So I'm gonna give you. I got a 60-second commercial here. Go, if you got time to go to the bathroom or just sip on your water, and we'll be back to hear some good stuff from Dr. Karmetria Burton.
Back by popular demand, it's Women on the Move Live. And yes, I'm back too, your host, Dr. Kim McNair. Join us every Tuesday evening at 6 p.m. and you can watch us live on YouTube and Facebook. We'll have great guests with unique opportunities to share, learn, and grow so that we all can be what? On the move. So don't forget, mark your calendars every Tuesday evening, 6 p.m. Women on the Move Live. I'll see you then.
All right, that was me. I hit the button twice, but that's all right. We still look good during that time. That is paint. Look, Painting with a Twist is a business here in McDonough that's owned by the lovely Dee Clemmons, and she's doing some great things. And I'm gonna get over there. Ladies, we got to get together, get our sister friends, and get over there and paint with a twist. It's a very clean and safe environment. I love going there. I've had my sessions there for my young ladies, my empowerment sessions for the girls, teaching them leadership and entrepreneurship and life skills and tech and all that good stuff. So Dee, I just want to just say in front of everybody, thank you so much for allowing us to use your space to be able to help uplift girls that are behind us that we're trying to help move forward. Thank you. So, Karmetria, are you ready, darling? All right. Wait. Before you get started, let me go ahead and let these people say they got comments. People want us to be celebrated. So we want to celebrate the women. Sherelle says, let's do it. She ready, girl. She ready to paint with a twist. I'm ready. She ready. Okay, Sherelle, she said she ready. What else she said? Oh, she loved great commercial. She loved it, girl. That's right. All right, Valerie, what's going on? Oh, that's it. That's right, sis. Make your way and prosper. That was for you. That was for you, Sabrina. And somebody else got another comment up here. Challenges we face as engineers and technologists are real. Okay, that's right. And Miss Jordan said, hello. How y'all doing? How you doing? Miss Flo said, hey, Sabrina, that's your mama. I know who that is. That is your mother. All right, Tamala said, hello, Queens. Hi, how you doing? All right, and we're back to Be Kind. But I think we had some comments I missed earlier. Some people were chiming in to say hello, and I guess they moved on. That was Corlette and a few other people who wanted to say hello. All right, Karmetria, I'm not going to hold you up. Here we go. We are ready to hear more about PYLR. I got to get this comment off of here. Who is that? Miss Brown, hold on. Let me get this comment out of your way.
It's on.
Yeah.
Oh, I put it back up. Okay, there it is. All right, we're ready.
That's just our reminder to be kind, right?
Yes.
The golden rule still applies. Do unto
Yes,
others as you have them do unto you. So thank you, Brana, for that. So Kim, thank you so much for this opportunity to talk about PYLR. And I gave a very quick overview of it earlier. But going through my career, I never really had women to mentor me or sponsor or support. And so a few of us have said, in order for us to sustain women leaders, we have to bring the next generation of women along. And that means we have to coach and train and speak life into them and give them the tools that they need to be our next generation of women leaders. Because ladies, we won't be here always, right? So when I think about Harriet Tubman and all of our grandmothers, all the women's shoulders we're standing on, we're representing them today. And so Paint Your Lips Red is a leadership movement that I started 5 years ago. And it is really an opportunity for me to coach, train, mentor, celebrate women, whether they're entrepreneurs, corporate America, private sector, the boardroom, the courtroom, wherever you are. It's an opportunity to really pour into women to give them the skills and the tools that they need to compete and be successful. And of that 4 years, 3 years ago, I started the PYLR Pledge, and it's this little card. And I had a goal to get 1,000 women to sign this free pledge. And all it says is, as a woman, I plan to do these things. I will show up every day in my life. All the women show. I will practice self-care, which is so important. I will be optimistic about my future. I will be confident in my abilities. I will be authentic in all my narratives and everything I talk about. I will support and celebrate other women. I will do it afraid, and I'll do it anyway. I will be poised in all situations. I will be spiritual, and I will serve. And so these are the leadership habits that I am asking women to embody, whether you're in corporate America, entrepreneurship, as we really level up our leadership, as we level up our businesses, as we look to bring the next generation of women along. And the way I came up with these 10 habits is I surveyed several women and I said, what are some of the areas in your life that you really could use help or support on? And that's how I came up with these 10 habits. And so if you want to be a part of a movement of women that are leveling up their lives, increasing their leadership, and it's just a good networking opportunity. I think Annie said, people right? Knowing people have helped all of us. It's not what you know that's important, but it's who you know. The power of relationships. I tell you, they say your network is your network. So if you want to be a part of a group of women that are really leveling up, www.paintyourlipsred.com. We'd love to have you sign this free pledge. To date, we have hundreds of women that have signed it. So if you want to make your mark in history, stand with me and sign the PYLR pledge.
All right, that was great. Thank you so much. I feel empowered already with my red lips. They always say, Kim, I've always had an issue with lipstick because I thought that because of my dark skin, there were certain lipsticks I couldn't wear and things of that nature. And red was one of them because I thought I was being a harlot. So I had to flip that. I see somebody put that out there, and that's not what it was all about. So I had to kind of flip that thing and say, no, it means empowerment. Look at me. I got my superpower. When I put on my red lips, everybody's looking because it makes my teeth shine even more and all that good stuff. So yes. Oh, someone said, where do they get the card, Karmetria?
When you sign the pledge, you will get this card electronically. It won't be this size, but you'll get the card electronically. And I want to say one thing. We talked about Sojourner Truth and how we didn't know that she and Harriet Tubman collaborated. Let me tell you, there's a woman on this panel. When I had this vision, I went to her because she is a master business coach at really helping women fulfill their passion through business. And that's Dr. Felicia Phillips. And she worked with me, she helped me, she supported me, and she really helped me bring my vision to life. Wonderful. So one of the things on the pledge is
we gotta celebrate her. We gotta
And so that is just my testimony to collaboration with women. Not competing, but collaborating. So
right.
That's where you get, Ms. Bonner. When you sign the pledge, you'll get this electronically.
Okay. Dr. Phillips, you're here. I mean, you've touched so many of us, on the panel. At least I know Sabrina, myself, Dr. Karmetria, you've been instrumental in a lot of things that we've done. I mean, I just went through the Black Belt Business Academy with you, which I learned so many great things. We go further back than that. And as a master business strategist, tell the women, or just I just want you to share a little bit before we get to our surprises. Share with the women that are watching today how important it is to continue to press forward in the things that they're doing to develop to get to that next level. Because some people just stop. They just quit. I'm done. I can't do no more. I done did all I could do.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to figure out how they're going to now. The pandemic is kind of moving. Things are starting to subside. But there's some things I know that you can share to help them to stand tall and get it done.
Let me tell you, as I was thinking, when you were talking, the first thing that came to my mind is that the devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy. And listen, he is not coming after you unless he's already seen your future. And if your future is bright, he's going to do anything to deter you from accomplishing what God has set you out to do. Believe me when I tell you, I know. And especially when your passion and purpose has to do with uplifting and empowering other people, right? So what do I want to say? You cannot afford to give up. Whatever has been put inside of you, whatever you feel in your gut, you've got to follow that. Now, here's the thing. You got to have a plan. That's why the Bible says you got to write it down and make it plain. A lot of times we're running, trying to, whether it's, I need to make more money or whatever the case may be. What I want to tell you is slow down, get quiet. So you can have a listening ear and you can get some direction as to where it is that you need to go to get the resources and the relationships and the tools that you need. This is where women struggle. But here's what I also want you to know is that we're employing more people. We're providing jobs. We're building businesses. We're creating wealth. And when we do that together, we have a greater impact. And that's what this is all about. This is about being able to help someone else see their path, accomplish their dreams so they can build some type of generational wealth to help their families and help themselves. We've got to focus on economic development, not just within ourselves and in our own community, but it's just like this platform internationally. We forget that just with social media, with our website, we're able to touch people all over the world, and we cannot lose that focus.
All right, that is true. That is good. Thank you so much. I know that you can give us something to get us fired up. Look, I've been celebrating since this morning, so I'm going to celebrate all the way to midnight. I'm telling you guys. Before we sign off, because I committed to an hour, and we may go over just a tad, but I wanted to make sure I give everybody opportunity to give some lasting words, and just to say something special to someone, or just something encouraging to help the next woman, or the one that's either somebody that's behind you, someone that's beside you, or someone that may be in front of you that's in your way. Look, if you ain't gonna do it, you got to move, because we are on the move. We are on our way somewhere. But in saying that, if they're in your way and you want to tell them, look, you need to move, maybe we might need to move up and just say, look, do you need some help? Can I help you? Because for some reason you're standing still, you're standing stagnant. So maybe I can help you along the way. Now, if they can't see, they don't have a vision. Now, look, I'll give you a scripture, but I got to keep it moving. I got to keep it moving because look, my journey and my destiny is going this way. I may reflect. I may look back a little bit and reflect, but my it ain't back there. It's in front of me on where I'm going and what it is that I'm trying to do and what it is that I want to make sure that I'm conveying to those who are around me. It's so important that I stay positive, that I'm authentic in what I do, and I take time to make sure that I try to help others. I'm dedicated to helping the youth, but I'm also dedicated to helping my sister friends, people that are all around me, that I don't want to see them struggle and go through the things that I went through trying to build a business or to get where I am today. It was a struggle. It was hard. I didn't do my business traditionally. I didn't start with a business plan. I had $500 in a dream. And I said, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I know how to do. I'm going to do it this way. And I just trust and believed in myself. I trusted and believed in what I was doing. And I knew what I was doing was not going to hurt anybody. It was just going to uplift and help those that were a part of it. And that's what got me here today. In November of 2021, I will be celebrating 30 years of doing what I do. And I'm like, it's through the grace of God that there's been valley moments and there's been peak moments. There's been peaks and valleys. I've been up and down. Thank you, ladies. But I'm just going to keep pressing on. And I've made mistakes and I still may make some. But I know how to dust it off, and get right back up and keep on moving. And I take time to, if I took a moment and I made a mistake here, and I try to apologize to whoever I need to. But the most important thing is I don't condemn myself, because again, if you don't fail, you won't succeed. If you do not fail, you won't succeed, because failure will train you up to not ever do that again. So, that's a little bit of my story, but it's about all of us, but I'm celebrating you ladies. So, Dee, I want to give you an opportunity to say some words before we get to opening up our surprise, something I sit near and dear to you all, just to say I love you and thank you for this time. So, Dee, and I'm gonna kind of go around. All right, Dee, what you got for us? What's some last words?
Let me just say how much I love you, Kim, and thank you for just always being your genuine self. I remember back in 2016, it was my first investment into Women in the Move. You were over in Clayton County, and I couldn't come, but I gave. And every year after that, I made sure that I was giving, even if I couldn't make the luncheon. And I say that not to brag about me supporting Kim, but just to say that I grew up on a song that you can't beat God's giving. No matter how hard you try, the more you give, the more you receive. And people, I can't stress enough about being in God's will and walking in your purpose. No matter how much people demonize you because they don't know who you are, if you're walking in God's purpose for your life, nothing can stop you. The devil can't do you no harm. And so I just thank God for that. I try to share that with everybody that I come in contact with. And, people know me as a servant. And if we don't know anything else about each other, if you're not a servant leader, if you're not giving back, if you're not lifting as you climb, being on top is lonely up there being by yourself. So you need to bring somebody else along as you climb that ladder. Right now, we were talking about, I heard you, Annie, say something about the Boys and Girls Club, but I was that club kid. When my mom was a single mom before she remarried, she sent me and my mom remarried, and I had a stepsister. We went to the Boys and Girls Club. And I said to my mom, why did you send us to the Boys and Girls Club? She said, I knew you would be safe. And I put myself through Spelman on an academic scholarship working at the Boys and Girls Club. So not only was I a kid there, but then I had to go every day, get on the bus and go from Atlanta back to DeKalb County to work and put myself through college. And now in Henry County, I just founded the first Boys and Girls Club in Henry County. And so I say all that to say that I was at a funeral yesterday and they said, you got the date you were born, you got the date that you're going to die. But that dash in the middle is what matters. And so, ladies, I know that we want to be economically, financially stable, and we need that. We need that in life. But the things that you do on the way to getting there, the other people that you bring along while you're getting there, the people that you continue to help that you may feel that are beneath you, lifting them up, is all that's going to matter. So we have to do that as we celebrate International Women's Day. I've made sure that it's been about what can I do for somebody else? How can I help somebody else? How can I empower the next woman? And how do I look out for the generation that's going to come behind us? Because we got young girls also, that don't have that role model. We have to be that role model. And let me tell you, you all said something about Dr. K about, and you, Sabrina, about being in the man's world. Politics is a boys' club. I am so that I could have never expected. But you become so demonized for fighting for the people. You become so demonized for trying to make life better for the people. And guess what? I need to sit over. I need to wear stockings. My dress need to come down a little longer. I need to have on the black. I can't wear my diamond. I got to wear pearls. We need to be comfortable in our skin. And when you're doing the work, it don't matter what people say, because God says, well done, my faithful servant. And that's the only thing that I worry about these days. You asked about the pandemic, but when the pandemic was happening, I was making sure that we was getting shots ready for making sure that our county had set up for people to go and get testing. When DPH, Department of Public Health, said Henry County is going to have 2 sites, Dee Clemmons said, no, we're going to have a site on every corner. So I'm always working and making things happen.
All right.
My business is successful, not because I'm just a great entrepreneur, but it's about the service that I've done.
Wow. Well, look at that. Gwendolyn Jones says, what a beautiful panel, powerful women. She says she loves us all. Oh, wow. Thank you, Gwendolyn. Valerie gave us the quote here. What did Valerie say? Oh, okay, Dr. K. Oh, you're welcome, darling. You're welcome. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Well, Dr. Lucille, I'm going to let you close us out. I'm going to let you say the last word, and we're going to open our box, and I'm just going to thank you guys. And I want to say thank you now, because sometimes we wait to the end, but I thank each and every one of you for being here, for taking an hour out of your evening to just, share with these women. As you can see, we've had some great comments. I don't think we got them all in, but that's okay. I know that people will see this in the replay too. That's what Sabrina always tell me, in the replay, Kim. But, I think we have all touched on some areas where we were able to at least enlighten someone along the way this evening during this hour. So I want to thank each and every one of you for answering the call. When I called and said, hey, I'm doing this, come on, be a part of it. Everybody was like, sure. Yeah. Oh, for you, and I love that. And it's vice versa, whatever I can do for you all too, because we are sisters in Christ. We've all connected and helped each other in some kind of way. And that's why I called each and every one. I could have called a whole bunch of people. I'm going to the ones that I know that have impacted my life. Okay. And still impacting my life today. So, that's what this call, that's why you all are here, because you are, Annie, you're helping me with media coaching. I know you're going to tell me after this is over, what I've been doing and what I said wrong, but Annie's helping me over here, to develop and get my media coaching together. Dr. Phillips is always on me, making sure with her, I was able to be certified. I was able to push through and apply and get that Henry County grant. And look, Dee, you sent the thing over, said, you better apply. So look, both of y'all was on it. Y'all was like, you better do it, girl. So I was able to press through and accomplish something. Just, being with you all, Dr. Karmetria, the Texas, all the inspirational things. The posts that you put up, and I love that Black love. Keep pushing it, girl, because people need to see, and you, Felicia, as well. You guys definitely post good things and inspirational things for women. And I love it, Karmetria, what you're doing and how you do it. You never cease to amaze me. You'll put a question out there, and I'll be like, what now? Think about what? Okay, she'll get my mind going, boy. Wow. Sabrina, look, you get me. They don't know how you get me about this technology, but Sabrina said before Monday, you better get a hard wire to this daggone computer, because we are not going to have what we had before. So thank you for bettering me and pushing me to be my best. I'm all about excellence. I'm always about doing things the right way, because again, presentation is everything. So I thank you for pressing and pushing me through doing this, because I was on TV. I didn't do this. I didn't have the studio in my house and the lights to this, all the stuff I had to get since I started, a microphone, but you pushed me through and said, Kim, you can do it. And Dr. Lucille, oh my goodness. You keep me going. Look, she set me straight earlier there. I ain't gonna tell you, but she I was like, okay, constructive criticism is good. And I love it. I love the prayers that we have, and I love you keep it real, and you tell me what it is, and I just have to accept it. And I love it, because not many people would do that. They're just him and haw with you, but you tell me the truth. So I wanted to say thank you guys, but I wanted to give you a moment to just say something before we open up our boxes, and leave some lasting words for these lovely women that they still putting comments up. My goodness. Okay, go ahead, Dr. Lucille.
Well, I just want to say to Dee, I concur with everything that you said. And while you were talking, all I could think about was that a lot of you ladies don't know me. I'm in a different place, and I'm in a special place. I'm not an entrepreneur. I'm not selling anything. But when I think about it, yes, I'm selling myself as well as giving myself away. But I want you all to know that I am a servant leader. And if I can be of service to you, please don't hesitate to reach out and just let me know through Dr. Kim McNair, or you can reach out to me as well. I just moved to Atlanta. I've only been here for about 8 months, but I'm just looking forward to tapping into community and being of service to so many other peoples. And I want to encourage you all, just keep doing what you're doing. I am so proud how God has put us together. I think about a puzzle. There's a piece, and everybody has a place in that puzzle. And in this sisterhood that we are building up, all of us have a place and all of us have something to give. So I thank you for giving of yourselves. I did receive this evening. And Dr. Kim, I thank you for just taking the opportunity to just put us all together one more time. We don't know what the next panel is going to be, but for this one right here, this was powerful right here. And I just thank you all for giving up yourself.
Yes, yes, awesome. Okay, ladies, so I sent you all a box, and it's a box that just, again, it's just something from me to you, and when you see it or look at it, you'll think of me. So go ahead, open up your box. And there's 2 items in there, so.
Oh, Kim.
We are what? That's right. We are stronger together. Yes. Look at Karmetria. She's still going. So you can put it in your office, and it's something that we are stronger together, ladies. And
yes, that's nice. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim.
Thank you.
And I know you love candles. I know we love candles as women. Annie, are you getting it open? Look at Sabrina. She's still going. Look at Sabrina.
It's in my office.
I love this candle.
Woo, there you go. Yes, the candle. Yes. Oh, yes. And I know Dr. Lucille loves candles. Did you get it open?
That's my favorite.
Woo. Yes.
This lemongrass is all of that.
Good, Kim.
Lemongrass.
So much.
Okay. And that is courtesy of Wellness Now. That's my sister friend, Michelle Pepsi. I know she's probably not on because she always running. But that was a lot of candles that she had. Yes. And
it smells wonderful.
Yeah. So when you burn that candle, candles, we can meditate, right? We put the candle on, turn down the light. Yeah, there you go. But we are strong together. And I wanted to send that to you all because I was trying to think, I was like, well, I want to just do something special for them. And, it's the thought that counts. And I was all over the place. But when I saw that, I was like, that is it. We are stronger together. And that's what we have to build on. This is International Women's Day. And I just want to say to all the women all over the world that I love you. And if nobody told you, I just did. So, ladies, I just want to say thank you. And I know we're a little bit over our time. Anybody has any last words they want to say to these lovely people? I'm going to have to put up, boy, they still get the oh my goodness, they still going. Here we go. I'm gonna put the comments up because they're not gonna stop.
Thank you, Valerie.
Okay, look, we got Miss Pace. Oh, okay. All right, Miss Flo Miller says nothing but love. That's right, baby. Nothing but love. Lucille Doris Graham said, "Good evening, Dr. O'Neal."
All right, that was my people from Orlando. That's my family. That's my cousin.
Oh, wonderful,
yes.
Wonderful. Well, ladies, again, I say thank you. Anybody have anything else they want to say? Any last words?
I actually do, Dr. Kim, because one thing that moved my whole spirit listening to every single one of you ladies was a common thread, in other words, and it's legacy. And in every single one of us building our legacies as women on the move, you're going to cross paths with another successful woman that will help uplift you. And the only thing that you must also include in that journey is your real estate and your technology. So whatever y'all do, invest in not only yourselves for your business purposes, but for your family, for generations as women. That's something that we have to do to change the trajectory of history. So ladies, I celebrate every one of you, and please celebrate every woman this Women's History Month.
All right. Well, ladies, that's signing off. So listen, I want to tell you guys, But I'm on every Tuesday evening. Women on the Move Live is right here, 6 o'clock on Tuesdays. I have some amazing guests that come on every week with me. Tomorrow, I'll have Andia Winslow, who was on earlier. I think she's still on with us. And I'm going to celebrate her. And another young lady, Shannon Anderson. And she's going to talk about publishing, book coaching, all that good stuff. And then the following week, I'll have the Runway Boutique. You know, ladies, we love to shop. So, week of the 16th, I'll have Sherelle Jones on talking about how she started up just putting the boutique on wheels. And Crystal Khalil with the Sisters Diamonds LLC. So a lot of great women coming up. They're doing some great things. And I'll be calling on you guys to tell me about some of the things you have going on so you can share as well. But I thank you. You guys have a great evening. Enjoy all that you are doing.
Thank you.
Celebrate every day. I love you. Good night.
Good night.
Peace. I love you.
Good night.